Hello, hello, hello. I welcome you all to this very interesting live session by Great Learning today. And in this particular session, I and my very close friend Anirudh are going to be talking a lot about this amazing field called as artificial intelligence. So this will be sort of a technical talk, a podcast where we'll be sharing our inputs about the field of artificial intelligence, what has been the trend of AI in the past year, which is 2020, and what will be the trend of AI in the upcoming year, which is 2021. We'll also be sharing our experiences in the field of AI, and we'll also, tell you folks about how to transition into the field of AI if you're from some other domain. So, Anirudh, why don't you start off by telling us how did you actually get into the field of artificial intelligence?
First of all, very good afternoon to all of you all. I hope you can hear us fine and see us fine. It's a beautiful day here in Bengaluru. Now, coming to artificial intelligence, it's such a beautiful concept when you think about it because it's a term that's been in existence for what, 50, 60 years now? People think that it's something new. People think that it's something we conjured up maybe in like 2010 or 2011. Well, that's not the case, right? In this particular case, we're talking about a term that's been carried over from the 60s and the 70s, and with today's computing power, we've made it large. Now, my thing about artificial intelligence came to a concept where I actually was interested in behavioral sciences. So there we actually sit and talk about how humans learn and how kids try to figure out things, right? Now, for all the dear viewers here, if you just go back to maybe your infancy, or if you do have kids at home, in this particular case, if you look at how kids learn, right? You show them a picture of a cat, you show them a picture of a dog. They eventually get to know that, they learn on it and they train on it. Now, I read in a I read in a journal saying that computers also learn in the same way. Now, this was way back when I was in school. Now, that intrigued me a lot. So I wanted to figure out how different is computers learning things versus how different is how we humans learn. Now, to bridge that gap, I started on this kind of a journey into AI, and it's been absolutely beautiful. What about you, Bernie? How did you get into this wonderful domain?
So, my journey has been pretty interesting actually. So, in your engineering, you have to do this major project. Well, not everyone does their major projects. So, most of the folks in the engineering, they actually copy their project, or what they do is actually they buy a project. Even that is possible. So, what I decided is instead of copying the project or buying a project, let me actually learn something new. And this was in 2017 or 16, I believe. So there was this site called as Data Camp, and it was just launched over then. So I got onto this site, and there were all of these languages such as Python, R, and there were these deep learning frameworks over there, TensorFlow, Keras, and there were courses on neural networks and so on. So I just randomly thought, why not I start learning these? And I started learning this language called as R. And till that time, I only knew languages such as, C, C++, and Java. And what I could do with that is very simple programming. But this language called as R, with the help of this, I could actually find insights from the data. And this totally fascinated me. And I could also make beautiful visualizations. And the best part is, no one among my peers knew that there was a language called as R. And for my major project, what I did was extremely simple. It would have been around 100 lines of code. But thankfully, since no one knew what was R or no one knew about the field of data science, and this was only 3 years back. So, and the project, since even though it was extremely simple, my friends thought it was very interesting. And even my professor thought it was very interesting. So that is how my journey in the field of artificial intelligence started.
That's fun. You made something simple and made it look complex enough, and people bought it. Right. So it's not only that. I think artificial intelligence on the whole is, it looks way simpler than it actually is when you delve right into the depths of it. Right. That's what I, when I looked at it, it felt very easy. It looked like, okay, so you know what, this seems to be extremely simple. Why are not everyone jumping on it? But then when you look towards it, I think when we're talking about AI around us, right, it's literally everywhere now. For all the viewers who have tuned in, I hope all of you are having a great day. But since you're on our YouTube channel, guess what? You are using a product of artificial intelligence right now, correct, Barney?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, so also on that note, I see that there's a watching of 16 and we've got only 9 likes. So why don't we ask them to like the video, and also all of the folks who haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. So that would help us a lot. So yeah, Anirudh, you were talking about product of artificial intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's for me, it's been a concept where when you have any sort of problem around you, my train of thought of all these years being a subject matter expert in AI always makes me want to just find a solution and try to implement and try to see if we can cater to a problem, find a solution via AI. And that train of thought, you know what, especially in the year 2020, right? I mean, we are one day away from a brand new year, but this year, when you look at how people started jumping on and realizing the power of AI and realizing that how amazing it is, it's just this fact that now it's this common train of thought that even school kids, well, guys, it's absolutely true. Even school kids, college people, it's amazing that they reach out to us and they talk about how they think AI is going to help in the future. Now, I've heard brilliant solutions, and a couple of these solutions have taken off to be, startup companies of their own and whatnot. So this year, especially, right, Bernie, in 2020, I think for all the people who were interested into it before and all the people who started getting seriously looking towards into the domain of AI, I think this entire year has been in a way where everyone has started thinking out of the box, and in this domain, that helps a lot. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. And so again, when we talk about the products or the applications of artificial intelligence, the best example would actually be the self-driving car. So we've got Google self-driving car, we've got Tesla self-driving car, and so this is based on something known as reinforcement learning. So now, and this is very simple. So to all of the attendees who are watching this, let me tell you how reinforcement learning works. And now, so you have this self-driving car. So what happens is this is given some instructions, and reinforcement learning works on the basis of punishment and rewards. So now, let's say you have this is self-driving car, and you have a barricade right in front of you. Now, this self-driving car goes straight, and if it hits the barricade, then it is punished. When I say it is punished, it is given negative points. The reinforcement algorithm, this algorithm learns that if it goes straight, then it will be punished. It will be deducted some points, and that is why it does not have to go straight. So it will choose maybe the left path or the right path. Now, let's say if it chooses the right path, it goes right. Again, if there's a barricade over there, again it will have some negative points. So then it will go to the left. Now, when it goes to the left, and if it finds a straight path over there, it will be given a reward. So the aim of this reinforcement learning algorithm is to get as many rewards as possible. So now this algorithm, the word algorithm might seem complicated to you, but on the basis of this algorithm, you have this amazing application called as a self-driving car. So all of these real world examples which you see, it's the underlying algorithms, it's these underlying ML algorithms, the underlying AI algorithms, with the help of which you can make these really beautiful applications.
Of course, amazing points. Now, since you brought up reinforcement learning, here is another beautiful application of it, which, for example, all of our viewers might have an experience firsthand, right? Now, guys, head to the comment section. Let me know if you have ever had a pet cat or a dog, especially a dog, right? Now, training a dog is very similar to how we train a reinforcement learning algorithm, right? Let's say you're training your dog so that it gives you a handshake. Now, if you have ever seen videos of it, even if you do not have pets, so the trainer will actually, get the handshake from the dog, and as soon as he or she does, he or she will actually go on to give a little biscuit or a little treat to the dog. Now, that is considered as a reward, so the dog knows it has to hunt and go towards the reward. Now, let's say your dog is a little naughty, doesn't want the reward, it doesn't want to give you the handshake. What is it going to do? It's going to run away, right? So it's going to run away, go away from you. It's going to do all sorts of things apart from giving you the handshake. Now, the point here is to for you to get the handshake and for the dog to understand that it has to give you a handshake. Now, this gap is easily bridged with an algorithm because it understands what the data means. But to train your dog is a little different process. But as Bernie said with reinforcement learning, I wouldn't bring up the punishment side of it because no one punishes pets. Come on, guys, let's be honest. The reward side of it is very nice. Now, I don't know if you guys have tried it with cats. Cats are a little, I'm weary of cats, but with dogs, I think it's a beautiful example, right, Bernie?
Absolutely. And who doesn't love dogs? So, yeah, if you have a pet dog and if you're able to train it properly with the help of reinforcement learning, that would be awesome. So,
Yeah.
again, all of these ML algorithms which you see, these are built upon how our brain functions, how our brain learns, or any of the living beings, how they learn. So if let's say I have to learn something, I keep on repeating that to myself, or my brain keeps on repeating that to myself. And that is how an ML algorithm or maybe an AI algorithm works. So, Anirudh, let's actually talk about something interesting. So, recently I started watching this TV series called as Westworld,
Mm-hmm.
and I found that to be totally amazing. So imagine a world where you actually have these artificially intelligent beings. They're
Yeah.
not humans, they're artificially intelligent beings who can talk like us, who can process like us, and apparently in that TV show they might also have emotions like us,
Yeah. Yeah.
but also consider the real world implications of it. So, in the real world, if we have an artificially intelligent machine which can think like us, if it can think like us, I don't think that might be not that of a problem. But if there's actually a machine which can have human emotions, so these are some things which all of the AI experts and ML experts have to keep in mind. And especially since there's a lot of things going on in the field of AI, there is something called as ethical AI development. And what this basically means is you have to make sure that what you're building, first is to make sure that the data, whatever data you're collecting from the customers, that is safe. And also whatever AI application that you're building, you have to make sure that the AI is foolproof, that it does not actually challenge whatever the user or the coder has written over there. What's
Yeah,
your
so
take on this?
that's a very good point there. Now, when we think about AI practically, now I think it's going to be a binary split between people. Half of the people are going to be extremely excited of how powerful applications can be. Now, for all the people who are tuning in from the USA and where all the parts of the globe where you guys have Tesla cars, think about it, right? Now, the only reason why a Tesla cannot drive itself is because of the law. There is a law that governs saying you have to have a driver for a car, right? Without which, well, guess what? We have technology which can drive you around like sci-fi movies and all of that. So now this is one part of the crowd who are really excited about the plus side of it. And then we have another side of the crowd, who might be a little weary looking towards, what can happen if machines can get more, if they can try to, as you said, when they can try to challenge us, there has to be certain fail safes and all of that. But I think we are very far away from that point, right? Your code is as good as you, to be very honest. There have been instances, I think you might have read about this, Bernie. Back in the day, Facebook tried to create two chatbots, and they created the chatbots started talking in their own languages, and eventually they had to be shut down. Now, to me, as a person who's very interested into understanding why it did, I am extremely fascinated. Now, for a person who might be looking towards like, oh, you know what, this is a little shady, this is a little on the gray side, now they might be scared, right? We do have to think about that as well. But with the current computing power, hey, we headed towards quantum computing, guys. With the amount of data that we generate, right, Bernie, the amount of data that we generate today is somewhere around 22 lakh terabytes a day, the
And
entire
that's a
world,
lot.
every single day, right? Now, think about the laptops, think about the computers that we have for processing AI and everything, right? Now, we might have what storage, 500 gigs, 1 terabytes, 2 terabytes. Think about storing 22 lakh terabytes every single day, right? It's not just storing it. Now, since you spoke about AI and the concepts of it, the applications of it, more the data, the merrier for an AI solution, because it gets to learn better is a common conclusion we have among us AI folk, right? Now, with the amazing power we have, and of course, the sheer amount of data we generate every single day, you can drive amazing insights. Now, think about maybe 5-10 years back. Okay, let's go a little further than 10 years, 15 years back, right? People would maybe just throw away data from the past years because they think it's of absolute no use, right? Now they realize that if you have the data for the last couple of years, maybe you're a seller, maybe you're a chocolate seller, you have a toys shop, whatnot. Now it's the holiday season, right? Then you get to make full use of it. You can analyze the data, you can calculate the customers coming in, you can have a machine learning algorithm, you can have a neural network set up to understand when your customers are going to come and walk into your shop, buy chocolates, what flavors of chocolates. So right from the most complex thing where AI is writing its own languages, all the way till you analyzing the number of customers coming into your shop, or maybe a cat and a dog classifier, right? I think the spectrum is so wide in the field of AI. The development is just going to go on and on. Barney, what do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. And especially in this day and age, I believe that when it comes to data, or when it comes to the field of data science or AI, it's not just a value add anymore. It's an absolute necessity, isn't it? Because whatever domain you take, whether it is the field of medicine, whether it is the field of e-commerce, whether it is the field of education, you have data, as you said, 22 million terabytes being generated every day. And that is not something which you can just ignore. And if we leverage all of this data, then all of the business problems, all of the medical problems, whatever problem we have, we can find solutions to all of these. So on that note, we actually have a question from Gaurav Agarwal. He's asking, what is the difference between data analyst and data scientist? So, well, to put it simply, under the field of data science, now you can consider data science to be the umbrella term. And normally for a fresher, you'll start off with the data analyst role. And for the data analyst role, you would normally require a bachelor's degree or higher. And apart from that, what you'll be actually doing is exploratory data analysis. So exploratory data analysis is where you'll be doing a lot of data munging, data wrangling, and you'll be creating dashboards, you'll be creating reports and stuff. And for this, you'd have to need knowledge of SQL. You need to know a bit of Excel as well, and languages such as Python and R. So the data analyst roles are normally for freshers, or maybe for someone between 0 to 5 years roles. And once you're set at the data analyst role, that is when you can aim for the data science roles. So in the data science roles, this is where you have all of the analytical models. You build these analytical models. Then after building the models, you would have to tweak the hyperparameters so that you get the right accuracy. This is where all of the prediction and classification, all of these things come in. So That note, I don't think we have a lot of questions coming up today, Anirudh.
Uh,
So,
Come on, guys. For all the viewers who have tuned in, if you have any questions, this is going to be a complete interaction about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and everything fun about it as well. So make sure you head to the comment section. Do put down whatever comments, whatever questions you have in the chat boxes, and we'll be more than glad to help you out. Now, Barney, you brought up one important thing. You said artificial intelligence in medicine, right? Now,
hmm.
this is one thing which is amazing, which intrigued me at the start as well. Start of the pandemic. Now we are living amongst the pandemic, and not a lot of people have gone through a pandemic before, right? So in this particular case, especially in March is when countries started locking down. In my opinion, they started banning international tourism and all of that. But it's called COVID-19 for a reason, because it was detected in 2019. Right now, November, December end was when the cases of COVID started spiking up in Wuhan, China. But now people think, of course, full credit to all the medical staff, all the frontline workers, doctors. These guys are doing an amazing job. All of us here at Great Learning highly, highly appreciate everything that they're doing for us. Now, one interesting thing here is, along with the field of medicine, guess what? There was a company called Blue Dot. Blue Dot is actually an AI based solution provider, and these guys were the first in the entire world to detect that there was an anomaly in Wuhan. Now, the common symptom of COVID is pneumonia. Pneumonia sets in, water starts filling in your lung, right? So this AI algorithm was searching for abnormal cases like this, and it caught up all the pneumonia cases, and it said, "Hey, there is a spike here. It's completely abnormal in Wuhan, China. Something's happening there." And guess what? 1 week after that, that is when World Health Organization said, "Hey, novel coronavirus is here." Right now, this is proven. If you can get more details about this on the Blue Dot website. These guys were the first in the world to predict the epicenters. They said it's going to hit really bad in India, in Brazil, in the USA, and all of that. And these guys were the first in the entire world. Now, this is something very interesting. This is what my point is. With the power of data and computing that we have today, especially in medicine, where we require solutions now more than ever, it's absolutely been a pleasure. Right now, my interest in medicine, for example, AI in medicine, AI in healthcare in general, it's amazing. I absolutely love exploring about all of these. So Barney, what do you think about the trends that we have in artificial intelligence now that we're stepping into 2021, 2020? So what's your opinion from this year, and of course, what do you think lies ahead in the future as well?
Oh, there is a lot to look forward to in this domain. Now, especially, so now since artificial intelligence is extremely diverse. Now, when I say it's extremely diverse, you've got the subcomponents. Again, I'll give some examples to our audience. So, if you have a smartphone, I believe all of you would have a smartphone. Then in your smartphone, you will have a virtual assistant. And if you have an iPhone, you will have this virtual assistant named Siri. Now, if I ask Siri what is the distance between sun and the moon, it will immediately give me a reply. Again, if I ask Siri, does she love me? She'll again tell me yes. Even if she doesn't, she'll tell me she loves me. So Siri is wonderful, isn't she? And so now, here what I'm speaking is actually a human language. It's a natural language. So how is a virtual assistant, which is actually a machine, so how is a machine able to understand a human language, a natural language, and this machine is able to convert this human language into a machine understandable language, and in a split second, it is able to give me a reply as well. And the reply again comes in a human language. So now this is totally amazing, isn't it? A machine understands what I'm saying, and the machine also replies me back. So now, virtual assistant, you might think of it to be very simple, but underneath, what is happening is extremely complex. And you are able to build these virtual assistants with the help of, so this is done under the domain of natural language processing. And when you talk about the trends, I believe that there is a lot to be done in the field of natural language processing, especially in the upcoming year, because since everything is digitized. So now I believe that since everything is online, you would need a lot more of these virtual assistants, which would make our tasks easier, and a lot of the manual work would be decreased. So, to all of the folks who are new into the field of natural language processing, to give you the gist, to work with natural language processing, you will obviously need to know neural networks. And in neural networks, there are these special type of neural networks which are called as recurrent neural networks. So, whatever virtual assistants that are there, these are built with the help of recurrent neural networks. So, NLP is one thing which I believe would be, where there'll be a lot of investment. And also, I believe computer vision is another field under artificial intelligence where I believe there'll be a lot more, investment and a lot more applications. Again, a simple application of computer vision. It's not exactly is computer vision, but it might come under the field of it. So again, I believe all of you would have a Facebook account, and when you're tagged in a group photo on Facebook, now let's say if I hover my mouse and if I put my mouse on someone's face, that now I'll immediately get a name on that person's face. But this again is amazing, isn't it? So this is just a social media site, and I'm putting my mouse pointer on someone's face, and I immediately get that person's name. So here what is happening is image processing. And image processing is a subfield of computer vision. And computer vision, again, you have these special neural networks where you have these special neural networks called as convolutional neural networks. So when it comes to NLP, you have recurrent neural networks, and when it comes to computer vision, you have these convolutional neural networks. So I believe these are the two domains where there'll be a lot more applications in the upcoming year.
Beautiful points. Now, we've come a long way, right? Even though we are at the pinnacle of computing as of how it stands. Fun fact, your computer doesn't understand anything apart from zeros and ones. Now, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how amazing you talk in, maybe you are multilingual, you can talk in 100 languages. The only language a computer understands is literally zero and one. Now, the convenience came into picture because rather we see images, we see text, we see a good human-like response because we are a social being at the end of the day. So I think that's how now back in the day, Barney, if you remember, there was something called as Turing test. Turing test was actually brought up by Alan Turing. This person was amazing, guys. If you do not know about Alan Turing, I would highly suggest you check him out. There's an amazing movie about how he helped break a beautiful encoded machine as well. Now coming back to the point, a Turing test is basically us talking about how if a machine can fool a human being into thinking that it's a human, right? See, now when do you realize that you're talking to a chatbot? When you understand that it cannot give you the exact or almost similar the chat rate or maybe the conversational flow as a human being. Correct. So the Turing test was way back in 70s. I put up right, Bernie, 70s, 60s. So this is where people started to understand how do you make machines more perceptible by humans. Now, right from then till now, yeah, right. So Bernie mentioned all the Apple users here might have Siri on their phone, and I used a lot of Siri. I use a lot of Alexa as well. The convenience of Alexa now is more than beautiful. It's not just Alexa that I just mentioned Alexa because I use it, right? Now, if I just say, hey, Alexa, good morning, as soon as I wake up, even before me wishing anyone else, Alexa is intelligent enough to open the blinds, intelligent enough to turn on the light, turn on my computer, and I just walk out of my room happy without having to touch a switch. Now, one way
Only
you
if you
can
could
think
marry a
about.
virtual assistant. That would be amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's just beautiful. Everything from opening your car door. I didn't realize that there's a couple of brands where you say, "Hey Alexa, open my car door," and your car literally does that for you. Uh,
Yeah.
One way of thinking about is how lazy we can get because machines are doing the work for us. But the second aspect of think is you have to think about how intelligent they are to even to get there, right? Now, a fun fact is the person who voices Siri, Susan Bennett. I've actually had a conversation with Susan Bennett regarding what she thinks about what she thinks about her voice being used for the virtual assistants. Now it's a great matter of pride for her, and of course, for the millions of people who use Siri every day. You're like, hey Siri, set up my calendar for the day, set up an alarm or something, block my calendar for this meeting, and all of that, right? We've come a long way. That's the basic point here. Okay, so we have a question from Hitesh. Can AI take our jobs? Okay, Bernie, your take on this first. I'm gonna follow up.
The next 20 years, definitely no. So if you're in the field of artificial intelligence, it'll be actually you who will be doing a lot of interesting stuff, lot of path breaking stuff in the field of artificial intelligence. And it'll be you who will be helping the world to automate a lot of things.
Yeah, very good point. I think yes, I do agree upon it. At least a decade from now, I'm a little less optimistic than Bernie because I believe that things can ramp up pretty quickly now that we are on the verge of quantum computing. Yeah, so I think 2 decades from now, it's possible that not all jobs can be taken over. But then, hey, the entire world is looking towards automation right now. I'll give you a very simple example which has nothing to do with AI. Think about whichever city you guys have tuned in from. Guys, head to the comment section, just quickly put in the name of the cities that you guys have tuned in from. No matter where you are in the world, there's going to be a good amount of traffic, I believe, right? Now think about the convenience of a car which has probably automatic gearing, right, an automatic transmission. Now once you're used to that, it's very difficult to come back to a manual transmission. So once you're used to this convenience that AI sort of puts out for you, it's hard to go back, is what I sort of believe in. So considering this in mind, there are so many jobs that we see now. If you see production plants of maybe big car companies, right, back in the day, yes, they had to manually weld each part of the car and all of that. Of course, a couple of cars are still handmade, for example the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, and all these big names. But the commercial offerings, the majority of it, robots actually go on to paint the car, weld it, almost assemble it all on its own. Now this was a manual task and people like to do it, but with AI taking over, with a bit of robotics taking over, there was a bit of controversy. But then people realized, as employees and as employers equal, that the returns that they're getting on their investment, now hey, these things are not cheap, right? I bet it costs millions of dollars to have a robot which paints a car. I bet.
Absolutely.
So now people realize it's the value for money. That's what people are tuning in right now. Look, we have our people saying Pune, Srinagar, New Delhi, Hyderabad. Now we've been to all of these places. We know the situation of traffic, right? So the
Yeah.
convenience of AI
We
is
have
just
mentioned
amazing.
Bangalore traffic. So
Bangalore traffic. We can probably have a session entirely talking about Bangalore traffic for sure. Right now, anyway, coming back to the trends of AI in 2021, all of you guys, I'm sure, are curious about how we are headed right into the future. Now, during the pandemic itself, a sad thing is that people thought it's going to be a recession, and companies started laying off a lot of people, right, Bernie? I mean, it's not just in, let's not talk about the domains in which it happened, but yes, people were getting laid off. But there were rapid surveys conducted as soon as that started happening, and people started realizing, well, what jobs are solid enough, what jobs are recession proof. Guess what the top number one was on it? It was AI, it was ML, it was data science. Now people constantly have a requirement for all of these. Now if I am a company, if I have 5 data scientists, and if I've hired 5 data scientists, probably as soon as my next project comes up, I'm going to require 5 more. So it would make sense
yeah,
for me to start laying out people, right? So this constant gap that exists between supply and demand, where there is a consistent demand for experts. Now I believe all of you guys who have tuned in have the complete capability to become experts in AI. I truly believe that. And the advantage you guys have right now is that there is amazing demand. So if you bridge the demand, well, you can almost work your way into your let's say your goal, your end job, your whatever it is, your dream job, your dream goal. Right now it's like a faster, it's a quick shortcut, I believe. Bernie, what do you think about this?
the shortcut to reach AI or reach into the field of AI.
No, there's so many jobs in AI right now. There's so many openings, so many prospects that now, let's say back in the day, if there was a domain where people couldn't directly reach out to the big guys, the Forbes 100, the Forbes 200 guys, right? Think about Google, think about Facebook, think about these big companies where everyone wanted to get into, right? I'm sure a lot of people here still would have those companies as their dream jobs. Now, even these guys have started hiring in a pace where we have never ever seen before. Uh,
Right.
Beat your experience level right from freshers all the way till senior levels, these guys, every day you just go on to LinkedIn, go on to Indeed, go on to any of these job hunt sites, the requirement for AI data science is just ramping up and up. Right now, this was in during the recession and it started from there, and I was very keenly tracking to see if there's going to be a drop off, if the bubble is going to burst for AI. I was wrong. It never happened, right? So even today, even after this session, guys, if you have a moment, make sure to check out the job offerings you have for the AI, data science, machine learning, and all of these domains. It's just amazing to see the sheer amount of jobs you have. So it's all in your hand to be trained. For example, here we have Great Learning Academy. In Great Learning Academy, we do provide free courses on multiple domains. Barney, do you want to take over and give these guys a quick tour of Great Learning Academy? Do you want to talk to them about that? Because I'm sure it's going to help them a lot. Okay, I think we might have a slight issue with Barney's connection. Anyway, guys, as I was talking about Great Learning Academy right now, this is a venture we started here at Great Learning, where we are providing, free courses on multiple domains available in multiple different languages. Now, for all the people, right, we had someone in the comment section ask us, say, hey, can you have the session in Hindi? Well, guess what? With Great Learning Academy, yes, you do have free courses in multiple different languages where you can learn for it. Of course, all of this is free, and upon completion, you can enroll for free, learn for free, and once you're done with it, you will be given a free complete certificate of completion as well. Right now, think about this, guys. All of you guys who've tuned in, I'm sure you're here to know everything there is to know about AI. But to start your career in AI is a thing of its own. We here at Great Learning are doing everything that we can to make sure that you are on a structured path of learning. Now, with AI, as me and my colleague Bernie were having a quick chat, it is a domain which looks very simple on the outside, but to become an expert, you really have to put in a good amount of time and effort. So it's worth exploring. To talk about the varieties of domains in AI, it's going to be a session on its own, guys. I'll be very honest with you, because there's so many things you can do. NLP is something that Bharani brought up. Of course, natural language processing, right? As I told you, I use Alexa, I use Siri every single day. I just go out and if it's a simple calendar thing, I'll be very honest with you, I do not open my calendar and manually set stuff. I just say, hey Siri, block my calendar for this particular moment or this particular duration and time. Okay, so Barney is back. So Barney, yes, I was just talking to them about the convenience of AI in 2021, and I was just showing them how they could work on their way, get started with their interests in AI by taking a look at Great Learning Academy.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. So, folks, if you haven't yet checked out Great Learning Academy, please go ahead and do that. So, on Great Learning Academy, we've got a bunch of courses where you can get started with the fundamentals of AI, the fundamentals of deep learning, and also we've got subsidiary courses on computer vision and deep learning as well. And these courses have been taught by industry experts. So, we've got faculty from IISc, we've got faculty from IIT as well. So all of these are wonderful teachers. So go ahead and do check that out. So Anirudh, let's also talk about how can a fresher, get started in the field of artificial intelligence. Now, from my point of view, I believe that there'd be 3 to 4 pillars of AI, which someone has to master to get into the field of AI. So first is definitely mathematics. So people actually underestimate the importance of mathematics when it comes to AI. People generally think that if you know Python, if you know TensorFlow, if you know Keras, you can become an expert in artificial intelligence. But my friends, that is not the case. Math, statistics, linear algebra, matrices, all of these are extremely important when it comes to the domain of artificial intelligence, because these are something which form the foundation, which form the base of artificial intelligence. And if your base is not strong, obviously you cannot build up on that. So that's why it's very important to get your math stuff right, to get your statistics stuff right. Now, once you're good with your math and statistics side of things, that is when you need to focus on the second pillar, which is programming. And when it comes to the field of artificial intelligence, I believe that Python is the go to language. I think you believe the same as well. And that is the industry trend as well. So, Python is the go to language when it comes to artificial intelligence. And after that, you need to focus on deep learning frameworks. So, you need to know about TensorFlow, you need to know about Keras. And finally, then come the neural networks. So you have to properly know the in and outs of neural networks. You'd have to know about forward propagation, back propagation. You'd have to know about recurrent neural networks, convolutional neural networks, and all of these different things under the field of AI. And when you combine all of these, that is when you will get your dream job in the field of AI.
Beautiful point, Barney. Now that you mentioned of how important mathematics is, right? So this is a question when we teach a lot of people. I'm sure even you have got this as well, of people asking us the importance of statistics and mathematics. Correct. Now, in this particular case, I'm going to give you a nice analogy of it. If you are not strong in mathematics, now think of this analogy. Let's say you're driving a car, your car breaks down. The first thing is, there's a very good chance you do not know how to fix it. You just know how to drive the car. But what do you do when your car halts? What do you do when your car doesn't work? Now, mathematics is one of these concepts in artificial intelligence that powers it like that. When you just build upon something without mathematics, of course, you can get to a certain extent, a beginner extent of just mugging up the concepts and running with the code and all of that. But when things started getting out of hand, when probably things, when you're looking towards working on a project, for example, or devising a solution to a problem at hand, you're stuck there. That is your roadblock. That is when your car stops. That is when you do not know how to fix your car, right? That is what I believe mathematics is to artificial intelligence. I believe it's very important. And it's not just mathematics. A person in AI and machine learning should be an expert, or should very well be versed, be well versed in a lot of concepts of even hunting for trends, right? Spotting trends, knowing how you can predict what might happen in the future, or knowing of where you went wrong in the past. Right now, that is very important. And in my opinion, right, millions of companies across the globe do it, even though they might publicly not put out saying, hey, we are using ML AI to learn from our mistakes. To be honest with you, they are 99.9%. You cannot put a workforce there and ask them to analyze thousands of days worth of data, especially if you are generating so much every single day. That fascinates me. And mathematics, along with being able to spot trends, programming, as you mentioned, Python, of course, person who's looking towards AI must be good at programming as well. But then now you guys will ask a question saying, how important is my computer science degree for AI? One fun thing, your degree doesn't matter that much in your undergraduate level, especially if you're looking towards a career in AI. You might be coming from a civil background or a mechanical background. That's my point here. Of course, CS people do get a quick head start, maybe, of all the basics and programming and all of that. But if you're coming in from other domains, with a structured program like what we have at Great Learning Academy, or what we provide here at Great Learning as well, in terms of specialization and other courses, I believe with this you can pace up really quick. With this, you can understand things in a structured way and work with it. Right now, mathematics done, trends done, programming done. Of course, Python is the number one programming language in today's world of IT. R is an amazing language for data analytics. As me and you, I'm sure we have used a lot of Python and R ourselves. Right now, the fourth thing, Bharani, in my opinion, what people don't look at when they think about about becoming an expert in AI is they don't think about the business side of things, right? Now, being a mathematician, being a programmer, being a person who's good at trends will help you solve a problem. Uh, with it'll help you solve a problem using AI itself, and you can do it beautifully. Now, at the end of the day, there are business requirements, right? There's a very good chance you're part of a company, you're part of an ecosystem, you're part of a work culture which is going to say, hey, I want this to be done maybe in a month. You might be able to do it happily in 3 months, but you as a business person should have a knowledge saying, okay, how do I get it done quicker? How do I do it in 1 month? So I believe a person in AI should also have this kind of a knowledge of the business insights. That way the other three sides of the same person, programmer, mathematician, trend spotter, aligns towards the business unit. Barney, what do you think about this?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because again, when you're working in a company, so working on a research project is totally different when you're actually working in a company. Because the aim of a research is actually to solve, some academic problem. But when you're working at a company, you're solving business problems. And when you're working on a business problem, you're dealing with a lot of money. So, when you talk about the business acumen, now, even though there might be a lot of projects which might seem really interesting, but you would also have to take care of the ROI. This might be an extremely interesting machine learning project. This might be an extremely interesting AI project. But the question to answer over here is, if I spend this much, whether it be time, whether it be money, whether it be resources, will I get the required ROI on what I'm investing? And this is something which a good machine learning engineer or a good data analyst definitely needs to know. Because at the end, you're working with data. And if you're working with data and if you do not really know if it will give me the proper ROI or not, then I believe you're not a good data analyst or a data scientist. So yes, it is. So we talk about business analyst, isn't it? So business analyst, this is what he does. So thinking about the business problem is really important. So I would also on that note, I believe we've got a couple of questions in the chat as well. Let's take them up. We've got only 10 minutes left. Let's take up those questions, maybe one each.
Yes, guys. Again, if you have more questions, this is the right time for you guys to head towards the comment, the chat box. Just put down all your questions. Let's have a conversation, right? Now, Bharni, I'll just pick up the first question from Suhail Bashir. He asks, how important is DS algo for machine learning? Now, machine learning algorithms are in a way where it uses a lot of data to learn. Now, data plus an algorithm plus a problem at hand is going to give you a machine learning model. Now, a machine learning algorithm and a machine learning model is something very different. An algorithm is what you use to get to the solution, and a machine learning model is the solution. It's the product that's going to take you towards your end goal of deriving key insights, right? But to do all of this, let's get to data structures. Let's talk about data, because without which there is literally nothing that the machine can use to learn about. Now you can say, okay, so I have a lot of data. Can the machine learn better? The answer to that is no, because there is a direct correlation between how the quality of your data alongside the quantity of your data. Suhail, when you think about how you can work with machine learning in general, so it's very, very important that you look towards understanding all the basic data structures, understanding all the concepts that govern data handling itself. Even before thinking about machine learning, because without which, even if you do pick up machine learning, your models will not be as accurate as you would expect to be, and you're going to put in a lot of time, effort, and sweat, and you might be disappointed at the end of it, thinking, okay, so I did everything, I tuned everything there is to tune, yet my machine learning algorithm is not performing as expected, right? That's because of the data. Barney, I think data cleaning is extremely important for the case of machine learning and AI, because if you just feed random data, if you feed noise into your machine learning or AI algorithm, it's going to use that to learn. Right now, probably if we were in infants, we were just shown a picture of a cat, and if we were told it was a dog, and that's what we've been thought all this while. Now we're going to learn wrong. Now, of course, your computer, your machine learning algorithm is not going to take 25 years to learn, but in the 25 seconds that it takes to learn, if it learns it wrong, you've just crashed your entire accuracy, right? So that's my answer to you, Sohail. It's very important that you understand data structures, handling it, and of course, even looking towards pre-processing as well, especially for machine learning. So next question, Barney.
Right. So Nagarjun has asked, how can a chartered accountant learn DS and ML? So Nagarjun, so what we've been trying to tell you folks is, irrespective of whatever field you are in, getting into the field of ML, DS, or AI, I mean, it might seem challenging from a totally different field, but we are giving you a proper pathway. The pathway is this. First pillar is math. Again, I believe since you're a chartered accountant, you might be good with math. So that's the first step which is covered for you, and you just have to build on it. Now, since you're strong in math, learn more about linear algebra, learn more about matrices, learn more about statistics. I believe you're already good at statistics, so that part of yours is covered. Now, where I believe where you might face a challenge is programming. So for a chartered accountant to learn programming again you might think that this is just like learning a new language. So now let's say so if you're let's say if you stay in Delhi and if you've never been to Chennai and you've got a job in Chennai, and to live over there for the next 3 to 4 years, you have to learn Tamil, isn't it? So it's as simple as that. And let's say if you have a friend who can teach you Tamil, you will learn Tamil in 1 month. So as simple as that. So just focus on, pick up a language, and we tell you that pick up Python because Python is the language to learn right now. And Python is also much more simpler to learn when you compare it to Java or C++. So, learn a language like that. Make sure that you devote 2 to 3 hours every single day. If you devote 2 to 3 hours, that should be more than enough, but you have to be consistent. It's not as if you learn 3 days and then you stop it again, you pick it up after a week. So, be consistent, focus 2 to 3 days. Now, once that is done, then you can start the heavy lifting. Then you can learn about neural networks. And once all of this is done, go to sites such as Kaggle. So, Anirudh, I believe Kaggle is a wonderful site. So if you have all of the required skills, if all of your bases are covered, just go to Kaggle and you will find a beautiful community over there. And you can also participate in a lot of competitions. And the best part is there are really good cash prizes. So if you win a competition over there, you can get probably around $50,000 to $100,000, which is absolutely amazing.
Of
So
course,
yeah,
it's a
so
beautiful thing, right? And guys, for all of you who are not very well versed with what Kaggle is and all of that, we do have a video on the channel, on the Great Learning YouTube channel, discussing about Kaggle. So make sure to check that out. I'm sure you're gonna have a comment with the video link. With starting out with Kaggle, the competitiveness, I think competitive programming is in a league of its own right now. We had another follow-up question from the same person, Barney. He said, how can I probably use AI for chartered accountancy, right? It's my belief that, I mean, I do not know a lot of CA stuff, I'll be very honest with you, but I've seen you guys crunch in a lot of numbers. I've seen you guys balance a lot of sheets and all of that. Now, I did explore a little bit of this probably 3 or 4 years back to see how AI would fit into that system. And I didn't understand 80% of it because I'm not a CA guy. I wouldn't know chartered accountancy in detail. But everyone else who was checking it out probably was a CA and they were highly appreciative of it. So I think a good Google search result is going to help you with how CA and AI is working together, right? Okay, Bharani, I'm going to pick up one more question from Pradyuman Kumar. He says, after done with programming, what must be the next step? Okay, Prathiman, good question. Now, once you finish your way through understanding a programming language. Now, let's say we're talking about Python here a lot, right? So, if you understand the syntax of Python, once you figure out how you can talk to the computer itself and make it understand what you're saying, The next thing is to explore how you can simplify solving your problem. Now, with Python, R, and all of these programming languages, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of libraries which will probably make your hunt for a solution easier, right, Barney? Now, when you think about Python, right, there's thousands of libraries, and if you have a problem, we have a common saying in Python that says, if you have a problem, we have a library to fix it for you, right? So it is this kind of a convenience that you definitely should know about. When you say you're done with programming, I believe you mean that you're done with understanding everything there is to know about the syntax, the concepts, the foundationals, and everything. But these are the kind of tricks. These are the kinds of, it's not just tricks, it's the requirement of today's world, that you know how best, how quick, how efficient can you actually solve the problem with AI and ML, right, Barney? What do you think about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, so now, so actually answering previous question which Nagarjuna had asked, so I believe I've got the perfect answer for it. So all of us had problems when filing our taxes, isn't it? So I believe as Nagarjuna is scared about AI, I'm really scared about filing my taxes. So if actually someone can automate this task, I'll be really happy. So Nagarjun, you have your solution over there. You can build an ML algorithm which can automate my taxes. And if you actually build that, I'll be extremely thankful to you. So Nagarjun, this is a project from me to your side. If you can take it up, I'll be very, very glad.
Yeah, and I think we'll be the first users of it who will be more than excited to jump on it and to, beautiful analogy, Barney. Good stuff. Right, guys, can we have more questions? We have last 2 or 3 minutes. We can wind up now. While you guys put that down, Barney. So coming to the conclusion of this particular discussion on AI and ML, right? So I believe it's showing immense potential. I think it's showing nothing but positive growth for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, whatever it is, right? So back in the day, the first AI use that we might have done was something which is very simple, but now we have products of AI everywhere around us that it can get a little annoying. Think about social dilemma, right? So this is a good thing in one way, it's a bad thing in another way. But think about Netflix, Barney. We have how many millions of users who watch Netflix, right? It is so intelligent in a way where, let's say you have a favorite actor, right, Barney, who's your favorite actor? Pick
That's a
one.
Tom Hanks.
Right. Now,
Tom
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks has worked in many Oscar Academy Award winning films, right? Now, if you go on to search for Tom Hanks movies, uh, so there are movies where Tom has not been in the primary role, where he might have been in a supporting role, where he might have just done a cameo and all of that, right? Now, Netflix is intelligent enough to change the thumbnail of all the movies and to actually put a thumbnail of Tom there, to make you want to click on the movie which you might have not watched, make you want to actually, look more towards the stuff. Now, these things are so beautiful in a way where it is getting more and more intelligent, right? It's almost like Netflix is saying we have 100 million users or something, and we give you 100 million solutions, separate, unique solutions. So that's beautiful, right? Okay, cool, Barney. More questions. Come on.
Sure.
We'll pick
So
two
should I?
questions, Barney.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So Ramesh is asking, so should I do ML in young age such as 12 or 13? So I find these questions to be very funny, to be honest, because when you're 12 or 13, it's good to know that you want to get started in the field of machine learning and artificial intelligence. But then again, you're just a kid. You have a lot more things to do. Maybe focus on your high school education for now and focus on your high school exams, and you will definitely have a chance to learn more about AI. So, what you can do is maybe read some interesting things about it, some interesting things about ML. Maybe watch a couple of movies on AI and ML. Read about the latest trends about what is happening. But you don't have to be worried about learning the technical stuff right at the age of 12. If you're interested, that's good. But do not stress yourself. Do not beat yourself up that you are not able to understand this at such a young age. because all of us, I mean, so as I've told you, I started my career of engineering, and when you talk about 12 or 13, so that is a pretty young age. So yeah, you have a lot more things to focus on and focus on what is important, and be just read up a lot more about what is happening, and that should be more than enough.
Beautiful point, Barney. This is what we started the session with, right? To tell you that a lot of people, a lot of school kids, a lot of college going people, everyone wants to get into AI. It's an amazing thing that you guys are looking towards it. As Barney said, do add upon your knowledge little by little. It always helps to get ahead of the competition, right, Barney? Maybe way back in middle school and high school, it definitely helps your interest. If you're very much into research, if you're into providing solutions via AI, to get a head start that early, I believe is something amazing. And if I would redo it, probably if I was 8 or 9 now, I would just start picking up books on AI and understanding the basics of it. I'll be really honest with you, right? Uh, all right, Barney, can we conclude the session, or do you want to pick up more questions? I think we are 1 hour into the session. This was an amazing session, guys. For all the people who have been putting down, a lot of these questions, you guys have been an amazing audience. Right now, we're gonna have more of these sessions. We're gonna plan more of these sessions. Let's have more interactions, because at the end of the day, it is very vital that first of all you know what's going on in the industry, you understand the trends, because we have a lot of people here, Barney, who are very curious about either starting their career in AI or switching into a career in AI, not just AI, any domain for that matter, right? So with knowledge to build upon right from the ages of 12 till wherever you guys are right now in your career, I think it's just amazing to have all of these knowledge at your fingertips. Everyone's working from home, reading from home, learning from home, education from home. Right now home has been the abode in 2020. So I think with a good internet connection and a good amount of patience and interest towards learning, I think all of these guys, Barney, all the dear viewers on the who are tuned in for this session, can become experts in all the domains that we talk about, right? What's your take on that?
Definitely, definitely. So as you said, with a half decent laptop and good internet connection, you learn a lot, especially in this day and age. All you need is a laptop and internet connection. And just to tell you how you can learn. So we've got this great learning academy where we've got this huge list of courses, and all of these courses are absolutely free. Again, the only requirement from your side is a laptop, and if you do not have a laptop, a phone is also more than enough. You just need to have one phone, and you just need to have good internet connection, and you can learn all of these courses absolutely for free. So I see that someone is spamming a lot in the chat. MS Music, if I want to choose a career in data science, should I have knowledge of DS and algo? So Anirudh has already answered this question. So now when you say DS and algo, so the data structures and algorithms part, we have to understand that in the field of computer science, data structures and algorithms are very important. But you'd also have to know that what is the field that you're applying to, what is the job role. So let's say if it's a software development engineer role, then in that case of software development engineer role, the importance of DS and algo is very, very important, because over there, so the interviews, you normally have whiteboard coding interviews where you'll normally be just be given the problem statement, such as how to reverse a linked list, how to find a loop in a linked list, and you'll not even be given a laptop. You'll be just given a piece of paper and a pen, and you're supposed to write the pseudo code or the code for it right over there. And there, the knowledge of data structures, algorithms, time complexity, space complexity, all of this becomes extremely important. And if you only talk about the field of data science or ML, here the importance of mathematics and statistics is much more important. So it depends on the job role. So if it's an SDE role, the focus on DS and algo is more. If it's a ML or AI role, the focus on math and statistics is much, much more. So first, decide on what is the job role that you'd want to apply for, what is the domain that you'd want to go for, and on that basis, you need to, you can upskill yourself. So I guess that answers your question, MS Music. So I also think this would be a good time to end our session, isn't it? So we are done with our time for today. Yeah.
Yes, Barney. It's been an amazing session. Let's plan more of these for sure. We have more coming in, so make sure you guys subscribe to the Great Learning YouTube channel, because if you are in touch with us, then if you hit the bell icon, you'll always be notified about all the content that we put out. With that, I think Barney, it's been an amazing session. I think we can conclude. So over to you, Barney. Take over the conclusion, and we can be done.
Absolutely. It was a great session. And also, just a reminder, tomorrow we are doing a round table where all of the SMEs of the Great Learning team. So, if you're interested in data science, we've got SMEs from data science. If you're interested in coding, we've got SMEs from coding. If you're interested in cloud, we've got SMEs from cloud. So what your requirement is, so as Anirudh has said, what your requirement is, Python will provide a library. So whatever you want to learn, we have SMEs from Great Learning tomorrow. So, guys, tomorrow at 5:30, do join us, and we'll have a wonderful session where all of the SMEs will be speaking with each other and also will be interacting with you, the attendees, you, the learners, and we know that you do join in, and it will be a wonderful session. And so, also a bit of correction: the live session will be at 4 p.m., not at 5:30. Apologies. So do join in at 4 p.m. IST tomorrow. So thank you, folks, and we'll sign off for today. It was a great session.